Field Coordination and Co-Curricular Activities, Director Hassan Duale. I know he did not say his name because he knows we know him. And chaplains and participants, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, and I want to appreciate all of you for attending, as I feel so humbled to stand in the presence and in the congregation where my senior is heading us, and the reverend and the clergy, ladies and gentlemen are. I feel humbled as I take you through this process. I want to confess that when I took over this work of chaplaincy with Reverend Gato, I actually did not understand what you people do. And it was not very clear in my mind whether I was taking you the right direction or whether we were doing the right thing. I did not know exactly where chaplaincy would be placed in the learning context. But now it is clear in my mind. I know it is also clear to you. When I was briefing director, when he came to our directorate, I was praying to God silently and asking God, God, kindly, let this program have a place in the heart of my director. And I want to thank God that director has also understood chaplaincy. He has walked the journey. And in these last days when we've been doing the validation in the regions, we have worked with the director. We went with him to the eastern region, that is the upper eastern. We went to northeastern with him, and we came to the coast where we finished our validation the other like 2 weeks ago. Some of you here must have been with us in those places. I want to appreciate the director and thank you so much for supporting these people. Sometimes on the part of Christians, we say that the work we do for God. Sometimes we may not expect a pay. Christians believe that God pays us for what we do, but it's not bad when the clergy can get a bottle of water just to celebrate what they do, appreciate what they do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, CD from Lamu, Joshua Kaga, and Madam Sub-County. Thank you for supporting us, and thank you so much for your remarks. Very passionate about it. The theme for the chaplains this year is so well thought out, director said, and so well lining up with what is happening in the country and globally, and amongst the young people. I just want to retaliate and say that the director is saying that unless we control the young people, I'm a mother of young sons. Mine are boys, and you know how they can question you and ask you, Mom, why are you controlling my phone? You bought the phone and now you are so much. Because sometimes you may have the lights off in the house, but there is some light coming from some direction. I don't know whether you see that in your houses. So you find that there is some brightness that comes and goes off and goes off. So I peep out and I want to tiptoe and see what somebody is doing. And although it is not something wrong, but you don't want to imagine that when you close your eyes and you are deeply asleep, what are your children watching? What are they getting into in those internets? And you feel so saddened that you feel like you do not want your children to get exposed to the so many things that are happening just because they are they are interacting with their friends all over, and they are told this and the other and so many other things. Until your own children begin questioning, am I really a boy or am I a girl? And they are like doubting their gender. And you are there always affirming to them that you are a boy. Yeah? Your name is a man, a male. You are a boy. You know? Like I have one son who wanted to have I want my cuticles removed at the cuticles of the nails. So shaped and so done. Then the other brother asked him, are you a woman? Why do you want all these very fine things? And then he says, even for mom are removed and they are well. So you see those things now, you imagine then later that they will begin talking of applying cutex, applying doing on the head, and doing nails and so many other things. As chaplains and as pastors and clergy people, we join to pray against these moves amongst our learners. So my humble duty here is to take you through the overview or review of the journey that we have gone together with the chairman, John Gatu. We've been with him in these exercises. So many of you have participated in one way or another in your regions. And I want to thank God so much for this far that we have come. So ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Education is in the final stages of developing and releasing the guidelines for chaplaincy in basic learning institutions in Kenya. Of importance is that we want chaplains to get involved, and we want chaplains to know that our basic learning institutions begin from the PP1 classes and all the way to the teacher training colleges. So PP1, primary, the junior secondary, the secondary school, and up to the teacher training colleges. Those are the areas covered by the State Department for Basic Education, whose PS is Dr. Belio Kipsang. I want to appreciate and say that this development has passed through various hills and valleys until last month, that is the month of April, when the final validation was done, and now we can comfortably say that we have a document ready to be presented to the highest management of the ministry for approval. When we have been going around to the regions, we told you that we would not share the document with you because it was in draft form, and we have no permission to sharing that document. But already, the day before yesterday, I received a call from somebody asking for the chaplaincy guidelines. I don't know whether this person participated in the validation exercises, but I want to tell you that in the presence of my director, that document is still not permitted to be shared within the members of the public because it is not yet approved by the CS, by the peers, and by the bishops, who are also your leaders and who also have a very big say in this chaplaincy document. When we talk of the bishops, we're also talking of the SUPKEM, the Muslim Education Council, the Hindu Council of Kenya, because that document represents all learners in this country, irrespective, across all the faiths, So, do not ask for a document from anybody, and the one you get is not maybe validated by the bishops. Maybe there are some things we agreed on in our validation forums which may be rejected by maybe the senior management or by the Council of Bishops in this country. So kindly let us be patient as we've been, and let us let the seniors give us the way forward. So in this session, I want to go through the following areas in order to understand the chaplaincy guidelines, the process. Are you there? So can you scroll down to Dogo? Yeah, those are the areas where we are looking at the areas. Yes. Okay. Go ahead. Those are the thematic areas we want to look at. That the genesis of the guidelines, the process of development of the guidelines, the general overview of the guidelines, and the way forward to the remaining area before release to schools. So the genesis of the guidelines as our number one thematic area, that the Constitution of Kenya, Article 10, recognizes the need to instill national values to all citizens. The Basic Education Act 2013, Section 27C, stipulates that the sponsor shall provide supervisory and advisory services in matters regarding spiritual development in schools, including the appointment of chaplains. This is key towards achievement of educational goals and objectives through promotion and coordination of value-based learning, spiritual growth, and instilling acceptable moral values to the learners. Further, the chaplains are expected to mitigate the moral decadence by providing additional dimension of spiritual, religious, psychosocial, mental care, guidance, counseling,